Hi, today we're diving into the exciting world of finding hidden value in off-market property leads. As many of you know, one of my key tasks involves sifting through scores, sometimes hundreds of these potential projects in my area. We're talking about properties that are ripe for transformation, the kind that with a bit of smart work can be extended or converted into significantly higher value assets, whether for a profitable resale or a robust rental income stream. The bungalow opportunity is one that we come across quite often. It's potentially risky, and I'll explain why. This is where you take a single story building, a bungalow, and you want to convert it into a two-story house. So it's definitely possible. What you need to do is be careful, though, about just how much value you can add by doing this, and also the costs involved in doing such a project. If we take the typical bungalow, it may be on its own detached plot, or it could be a semi-detached bungalow, and therefore you've got neighbours to consider. Well, the latter is a non-starter, so forget about any sort of semi-detached bungalows and extending upwards. It's likely to cost a lot more. It may be contentious in terms of the streetscape, and you won't actually get the permission to do it. Where you do stand a chance of getting these things to pay off really well is where you take a bungalow in a large plot, so quarter of an acre of ground or more, and you can get the permitted development to enhance the area of the building by extending upwards, making it a house in its own quarter acre grounds or possibly more area, and you can significantly add to the value. That's not to say it's not without its risks, of course, because what you're essentially doing is you're taking the roof off an existing perfectly valuable building. So as soon as you do that, you're devaluing the building, and then you're constructing an additional story and an additional roof. So you need to be absolutely sure about the foundations for the building for a start, because otherwise you may be involved in demolition of the bungalow and building of a new house. Now that affects the economics, and it may not be worthwhile doing that. So nothing is ever straightforward with the planning rules in the UK. So there are 5 pillars of permitted development. So this is your go, no-go checklist. The key consideration that you've got is, is it in a conservation area, in which case you would have to go for full planning permission. The building mustn't be listed, obviously. Otherwise, you've got to go for planning approval and historic buildings consent as well, which may be quite difficult to obtain. If it's a historic building, it's got a register. Nobody's going to allow you to significantly alter that building. But it is possible if you get the right sort of property in the right sort of plot. So essentially the plot is what is going to dictate whether you can do the improvements to the project. So what you're doing is you're taking the roof off the existing building, you're protecting, so you're putting a cocoon of scaffolding and temporary roofing over it so you don't let the weather in. You're building an additional story, which could be a timber frame or SIP panel type of extension upwards, and then you're putting a new roof on the property and appropriate tiling, the suitable windows for EPC and energy performance, and possibly you'll be putting solar panels on the roof as well to help with the energy consumption. So we talked about location. You can't really do this in a conservation area or if it's a listed building. So it needs to be a plot on its own, and you've got probably a rundown bungalow that could be refurbished, but you'd get more value by actually extending it upwards. And you've got to consider this demolition option as well, whether it's really better to just demolish the building and start again with a new house. So lots of variables to consider, but this is one type of lead that we get where you've got the potential to double the floor area by adding an extra story. Sometimes you can go into the roof and make some additional space there as well, and thereby increase the value of the asset on a suitably large plot. So it's not going to work for every lead that you get, but this is something that we do look at quite often and see if it's worthwhile to actually convert such buildings and add an extra story, and thereby increase value and create wealth and create profit from that. So you might decide to sell the new house that you create, or you could keep it and rent it out. So if you're interested in this or any other form of permitted or any form of development or investment, you can contact me, that's Alan Alpus Group, on 07539141257. From outside the UK, that's +44 7539141257. Or the landline is 0333 224 1257. From outside the UK, it's +44 333 224 1257. You can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/AlanJE, or you can simply drop me an email at alan@alpusgroup.com. Cheers for now.